Hello, folks, it's me, the KQ Squirrel Loggington, and I am having a techno breakdown, apparently. Well, let me just finish making my... Hello, Silverstar. Let me just finish making my various social media posts. Okay, just getting it all typed out. There we go. Oops, wait, no, that's a reply, not an actual post. And I, of course, want the link to myself in there. Okay. I think I'm actually ready to, I'm almost ready to get started. Amazing. It is as if I were marginally competent. I'm just kidding, nothing's like that. Anyway, hopefully everybody's doing alright tonight. I am somewhat awake. Although, not really, but I can fake it. And with everything else closed down, I am prepared to throw ourselves back into Sorcery. It's kind of a mess so far, but given that they took away the ability to rewind things, I think we're doing surprisingly well. Hopefully the music isn't drowning me out or anything. Sound is weird. It's like now that, the video isn't constantly readjusting itself every time I go between screens. It feels like the sound just gets louder every time, in spite of nothing being touched on the volume, so I have it down to, like... I have my master system volume set to 50... No, that should be down at, like, 30, where I had it. Okay, apparently it got louder again somehow. I'll have to look into that later. But I usually keep it set down about 20 points lower than where it just was. I don't know. It is the future, and nothing works. I'm working. It is, 1 minute 30 until it is time for me to get to work. So, you have a few minutes there to do whatever you need to do. Do the dumb things you gotta do, touch the puppet head. And I will simply, hang out, I guess, for that remaining minute. Yep, I really have no idea how well this is gonna work out. For all I know, we're gonna die like a minute into book 4, and then we will have to restart the entire thing. I really doubt that they'll go to the extent of, like, straight up deleting our save. But, I don't know, I was in a BDSM relationship with Sierra Online for years. So, heaven knows what could happen. And I'd probably welcome it. Adventure games... Adventure games can do things to your brain, you know? Alright, let's get over there. Just chat window. There we go. Let's get Sorcery up on the screen, shall we? And here we are. We're still not actually in the Archmage's tower. We had just said goodbye to the Goblin Kitchen Maid, who unexpectedly, romantic, I guess. And you'll notice that we cannot actually rewind any. The last point we can rewind to is outside the main gate. Okay. So we still can rewind, it's just that we can't rewind to any point in here. That's interesting. That's Marshall. That's interesting to me. Alright, let's get down into it. You slither and slide your way down in the darkness of the tunnel. It is unclear who built this. There are no supports or indication of construction. This is all one long... It is. It's a very long sequence, and it's clear that they're trying to make the stakes feel realistic. Make it feel like, you know, you could die any moment, and you can't take it back. But I don't care. Like, if I have to replay from back, way the frig back there, I will. I don't know who they think they're fooling. And I understand that, it is possible to potentially edit your save file to turn rewinding back on. I don't know why I would do that, but it is unclear who built this. There are no supports or indications of construction. There seem to be tooth marks in the walls. Oh, good. Something's bitey. You splash on through the shallow water. The rock walls drip with dank moss, and the smell is stale and fetid. There is no way to tell how much more of this there is to go. Yeah, there is. Like, there's about 2 more screens worth. I have the feeling all decisions are permanent. You may only rewind to place... Yeah, I know. But I really don't think that this game was meant to be played, you know, with your eye on the map at all times, because... Like, originally the map would have been at the front of the book. But they adapted and changed so much when they converted this to a game book. I mean, when they converted this to a PC game, they converted the game book to a PC game. They adapted and changed so much, there's really no way to know. You splash onward. The tunnel turns the corner here, rising upward towards the chink of light. Yeah, 2 screens more, just like I said. You climb upward using the rough edge of the tunnel as footholds to ascend. There is a fresh scent from somewhere overhead. The fresh scent of pine fresh glade. After some more clambering, you come within sight of a grate in the ceiling. Light filters through, and standing right on top of it are a pair of feet. Oh dear, feats. Are they epic feats? You wait a few seconds and are rewarded as the guards above begin to chatter. Keep your eyes open, a gruff voice murmurs. They say she's on her way. Who? You know who. I'm not worried, the second guard replies. No assassin can kill the Archmage, however clever they are. Well, we're gonna have a very good try at it, I think. The grate looks fixed into the stone. It's not hinged, or designed to be open, but presumably just to let this tunnel vent steam. Alright, this isn't designed to be open. Let's just keep moving. You push on through the tunnel, further underneath Mempeg. Oh, there's more tunnel. Over here. Okay. You reach the end of the tunnel. A short flight of slick stone steps leads up to a trapdoor on the ceiling. The trapdoor is set neatly into the rocky ceiling and is closed tight. It looks as if it hasn't been opened in a very long time. Alright. I'm not gonna risk pushing on it while standing on slippery stairs. We're kind of weakened. So let's go with the door spell. Or dot. You wind the stars into order around you, but nothing happens. The trapdoor does not even shake. Perhaps it is protected by some magical defense, or else it is not a door at all. Wait, if it's not a door, is it ajar? Yeah, I'm not gonna wait for a reaction on that one. Alright, if this is not a trapdoor, then maybe it is an elaborate trap. Let's give it a pull. It's a car. Well, you wouldn't steal a car, would you? You scramble quickly upward, keen to get out of the tunnel as quickly as possible. But the trapdoor, when you reach it, is so firmly locked it does not even shiver when you shove at it. You bang on the trapdoor. It doesn't budge, not even slightly. More suspiciously, it barely even booms. You pull at the wood of the trapdoor. After some work with a chopping knife, a strip falls away, revealing smooth rock beneath. It seems this was once a trapdoor, but it has since been filled in, perhaps with a petrification spell cast onto the wood itself. Yeah, so it's not actually a door, it's just... That's brilliant, thanks, man. There is no way up from the tunnel, it seems. You turn back hopelessly toward the thin light from the grate. Alright, we're gonna have to go up. You return along the tunnel when you hear something growling. It seems your banging has attracted attention. You pace forward, straining your eyes to see through the darkness. There is a flash of a footfall as something approaches at speed. It is a towering rat bear. I kind of wonder, does this world have, like, normal animals at all? Because we've seen, like, skunk rats, I think, and rat bears. Do they just have rats anywhere? What is the reference rat? Alright. I know there's that mind control stupid creatures spell. I don't remember what it is. Demoralize the opponent. Make stuff smell bad. Make a creature deranged with dim. Or we can just cast Doze and slow it down so we can beat it up. But even so, I want to find, allows you to take care of the attack, take control of the attacker's will. That's law. That's gonna do 3 damage to us, but that's... We have the rations to make it up, I think. I mean, as we continue playing Sorcery, I'm trying to solve more and more problems with magic. It's not even here. I can't cast Law. It's not even here. What can I cast? Create glue, but I don't have the materials for that. I can, of course, cast Old Reliable, the Fireball. Let's cast Fireball in the sewer system. That has never ended poorly for anyone in their entire lives. Read mind. We could read the mind of the rat. I don't think that would help. We can't summon a replica creature. We can't cause fixedness, whatever that means. Yeah, no. I'm just gonna go with Fireball. Let's see if we blow ourselves up. You craft the spell, winding a fireball in your palm. Then you fling the fireball at the rat. It sears through the creature's grimy flesh. Hastily, you draw your sword, but the creature is already upon you, swiping deep into your flesh. Apparently a fireball didn't slow it down. Let's just stab it. Oh god, we're dead. Yeah, we're gonna die here. Well, I give up, so, the raptor dies after you and drowns you of your... You drown and die of your wounds, all at once. All at once? Wow! Alright, let's try that again. Apparently we can rewind time to the start of a fight. Deadly, yes, deadly. Alright, block for 1 damage. Charge in. That's 2 damage. It has almost fallen. And that's a victory. Okay. The rat bear is dead. You stop to recover your breath, but though you are alive, you are still stuck down in the dark. You settle down to wait. There seems to be nothing else you can do. Hours pass. Then you hear a distant rumbling noise. You brace yourself, fairly certain what is coming. Water. A high, heavy torrent of water that fills the tunnel. You have moments before it strikes. You fill your lungs. Then the wall of water strikes, pumping hard into your body. The world is turned upside down, and you cannot see for rising bubbles. You're only held in place by clinging onto the hole in the ceiling. As the water rises, you grab onto the grate and haul yourself upward, fighting hard against the current. You keep pulling, hauling yourself towards the hatch. Things brush past your body, washed away by the current. You struggle desperately to open the grate, but it seems firmly stuck. With your lips pressed to the bars, you gulp and gasp for a mouthful full of air. Enough to stay alive, perhaps. Then the water begins to recede. You drop to the floor of the tunnel once more. Of course, all your water-damaged possessions have been ruined. Thankfully, however, the pages of your spellbook are protected, but all of your soft food has been ruined. There goes all the food we got from the kitchen. More light filters down from above now that the guards have gone. Well, easy come, easy go. Can we cast big? No. Why can't we solve all our problems by getting... Why is this happening? Why can't we solve all our problems by getting large? Can we open the door? No. Remember the grate was never designed to open? Summon a replica creature. That's not gonna help. Create illusions. Wonderful, we can create an illusion for us to look at. I don't think spells are gonna help here. You find a chunk of stone and toss it up against the grate. Nothing else happens. You listen closely for a few seconds and hear nothing. We literally cannot get out of this without casting a spell. It's our only option. Talk with animals. Make a stink. Can we do that? I forget what the spell bad thing is. It's like... NIF. Right. What? You have that one memorized, apparently. No. No N. As you say, no N. Zob is unknown. I don't know what that does. We can cast Lightning Bolt. Can we cast Zip? Cast an unknown spell? Alright, let's cast Zob. You are missing an item that it needs, so the spell dissipates around you. That's not gonna work. But can we, Oh, that's Zob. Hover in air requires a jewel-studded medallion. We don't have one of those. Create lightning. We could try and kill ourselves, I guess. Glue. Illusion of worship. There's nothing in here that's helping us. Pause. Fear. Let's try door open. Reaching up to the stars, you create the magic, and the grate overhead flips open. I'm sorry, the grate that was never meant to open just flips out. Okay. You try to jump and grab the overhead grate, but you cannot reach it. Once more you settle down to wait. When the water finally returns, you are ready for it. You keep pulling, hauling yourself towards the hatch. Things brush past your body. After more heaving, you manage to pull yourself out through the grate. Once your legs are out of the water, getting free of the tunnel is easier, but at least you are free. Alright. You step out onto the dirt of Mampeg and kick the grate shut behind you. You try to shake the water out of your cloak. You're in a narrow alley between two large buildings. At the far end, you see a glimpse of some kind of plaza. Clouds rumble as they roll across the dimming sky. You slip your way forwards. Unsure if poor writing or attempt to subvert expectations, I could not tell you. But I am going to have a look and see. Alright, we have some raw meat still. Apparently that wasn't ruinable. We have a whole crap load of stuff. Apparently your water destroyable possessions are a lot fewer than I had imagined. There is barely enough space to walk between the two buildings, which list inward on both sides. The buildings on both sides are topped by large glass domes, the one on the right larger than that on the left. You sidle on down the alleyway. Well, sidle on. The alley widens out a little here as it approaches the square at the end. You are inside the city! Time to explore! Looking around, you are surprised to find that this part of Mampeg is more like a city than you expected. There are merchants, laborers, and swaggering guards. Washing hangs from hooks outside the stacked houses. Of course, there are far more wicked glares and knives tucked into belt than even Kare. Suddenly, you feel hooked fingers catch your arm. You turn around and catch a glimpse of a hoary old beggar pulling at you. But then, something happens and you lose sight of him. A moment later, the tall buildings of Mampeg you traveled so far to reach have disappeared. That beggar stole the city! That was Carmen Sandiego. Oh, why are we back in Kare? You stand in a humid climate. Tall plants lean down on all sides, and a thin, watery sunlight leaks through some kind of glass ceiling choked with weeds. Where am I? You look around, startled. The beggar is still here, but no longer holding your arm. He stands taller and seems better fed. That's better, he declares. Now we can talk more freely. Where in the thick verse is Carmen Sandiego? She's stealing the dinosaurs from Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park. I mean, I'd read that fanfic. Who are you? My name is Throbbin. Okay, sure it is, man. Sure thing, dude. The beggar bows most politely. You notice he wears a circlet of finger boats on his head. Some have called me necromancer, but they only mean death has never stopped my work. You're dead? Sometimes. Not entirely. Though I rather think I soon will be. Well, he said, spreading his hands. Soon can be confusing, of course. Perhaps we should start from the beginning. Where are we? This is a favorite little spot of mine, a forgotten corner of Kare, the Lost Gardens of Briar. Even the gardeners who work here can't remember the way in. It's on all the maps, but no one can find the entrance. My own little fortress. Really? Okay, no, this wasn't here before. When we got here in, Book 2, this was a barren wasteland. Because right up here was the church, where we had to fight those harpies. So, this didn't exist. He reaches rather tenderly for a nearby plant and pulls off a graying leaf. Then he pops it in his mouth and eats it. Om nom nom. Throbbin smiles. Throbbin Hood? Come, let's walk a little, shall we? He begins to saunter between the trees, and you follow. What have you done? Moved us elsewhere so we can talk, Throbbin replies. The place is hidden from the Archmage. Quite so, Throbbin replies. The Archmage would chew a death sponge mushroom and then eat my brains if he had the chance. Best for all of us if that doesn't happen. Robin points at a nearby flower. You see this one? Purple thornweed only grows in one place, the slopes above my home village. Very nice. It was, he replies wistfully. I grew up in the same village as the Archmage, you know, a small place called Kariyama. Maybe you've heard of it? He sweeps away, his face hidden from view. This way now! He steps between two plants and disappears. You push your way between the plants and find the beggar waiting, only now he is no beggar, but a tall, handsome man wearing a large cloak embroidered with runes of power. There you are, he booms. I was told to expect you. Also, hello, Serious Song, and yes. His name is Throbbin. Have you been waiting long? Yes, a surprise. About a month, he answers. Please excuse any confusion. I use these gardens for conversations quite extensively, but I have to space them out. One cannot have things overlapping. Now then, he smiles, I believe will be talking about Mampang and your impending death. I'm not gonna die. Oh, you most certainly are, he replies. Often I shouldn't wonder. He points up. The dome is gone and it is now nighttime. Stars shine overhead. I like these gardens for one reason above all. Can you see what it is? The view? After a fashion, he sighs with evident pleasure. Look up there, he declares, pointing. This is one of only two places in Kare where the stars of the Zed spell can be seen. The other is by the north gate, but that spot's rather too busy. What do you know of that spell? The mention of Zed makes you stop short. The secret magic. The most powerful knowledge unknown to all. What do you know of that spell, you demand? Zed, he intones, is the great discovery of the necromancers. A spell powered by and fascinated by death. Some thought it prevented death, but it does not. Quite the opposite. The stars of Zed cause a death of the most significant and final kind. What kind of death is that? The true death, the absence. But the secret is too powerful to share openly. Please, he gestures at another path leading between trees as wide as bears that have fallen together to form an arch. After you. We're walking right into his bear trap. You slip under the arch and arrive in a field of bright yellow and purple flowers, terrifically overgrown. Brambles choke the edge of the path. The man does not follow. The beggar has abandoned you. It seems you must find the path back to Mampang yourself. Well, I'm sure we'll walk into it. You push forward through the towering flowers into an area of cracked blue paving and fronded shrubs in glass pots. To your relief, the beggar is here once more. He looks older than ever. Now you understand, he hisses. Now you see why you have to die? I think I missed something. Possibly, the necromancer agrees. It is hard to keep things in the right order when you are as cursed as I am. You were telling me about a spell? Most likely I was, he agrees. The Zed spell is difficult to cast, you see, because you can't cast it at once. You have to cast it at two separate times. 2 times for one casting, got it? Like left and right hands clasped together. He demonstrates, linking his thumbs and flapping his fingers like a butterfly. Go on. So you cast it then and before, and when both castings are cast, they are the same casting. 2 castings at different times cannot be at different times, so the time between disappears. He squashes his butterfly fingers into a single 2-handed fist. Okay, so it connects you at one point in time to you at another point in time. And that's a circle. Has this happened in a time loop? Where does this time go? Same place any of it goes, I expect. The beggar spits out a tooth and picks it up to admire. Be valuable, that, one of these days, he remarks. You reach down for it. Uncouth villain, he curses, batting your hand away. Now we best be getting on. We don't want you coming back here when you finally die. Coming back? Exactly! Throbbing closes his dirt-smudged eyes and concentrates, and slowly the walls of Mampang return. Thanks, Throbbing. There you are again, smiles the beggar. who is now back as he began. He lifts a crooked finger. Not a word. There are spies everywhere. One last thing to do. Draw your sword. You obediently draw your blade. The robin beams with glee, and then before you can stop him, he runs himself deep into the blade. For the ghosts of the Backlands, I curse you with this, he whispers, and there is fury in his eyes. In his last moments, you see him hurl up his arms, creating some kind of incantation. A terrible force builds around his body, but then seems to only half explode. You are caught at the moment of detonation. Okay. The explosion dies away, its force curiously unspent, as if waiting. But you feel stronger for it. I feel like I just made some kind of mistake. You look around, still disoriented. There is no sign of the beggar. The narrow alley mouth opens up onto the square. Darkness closes in. You need to rest, especially on an empty stomach. He throbbed too hard. He throbbed too hard. He gave too much of himself, and he exploded. Can I cast Zed here and now? Make a move. Oh, okay. Well, now I have to move. I guess not. You emerge from the alley onto the edge of the main square. Let's hit the west side and see if we can find somewhere to sleep. Why the west side? I don't know. In the moonlight, this corner of the square is quiet. A wider road leads west into a rundown area of the city. The cold night lingers on. But no, I guess I could walk all the way back to the gate and cast it, but I just got in here. And I don't want to do that. So, I don't know. To the market. The market is shuttered up for the night. You find a stall to curl up under. You should be sheltered here and hopefully out of sight. Setting down your pack, you try to stretch out despite the wind. You have not yet eaten today, but you have no provisions, only a single vial of blueberry juice. Alright. I use the blueberry juice, I knock it back, I heal up. Hopefully this will... You were cursed with the Zed spell. You were woken roughly by a stall owner kicking you out from under her stand. By the time you scramble away, you have sustained some bruising. You could head in several directions from here. So I have been cursed with the Zed spell. I don't think that actually tells me what it does, no. It's been cast only once by a powerful necromancer from Throbbin who was never seen again. From Throbbin. Not, well, whatever. Alright, let's head north. Or maybe let's head to the west side. See what's actually here. An old beggar woman lounges against a wall nearby, watching people come and go from the market. A wider road leads into a rundown area of the city. I'm hoping we can, like, find a way up, but... let's explore a little. You walk west out of the square, following a wide road. It passes by a large gate. The air moves around you a little. Still icy, but fresh. Before you is a stone facade that stretches the length of the streets. Two men in heavy robes sit on the steps. Arched windows are placed evenly, although several panes are missing. Worn steps lead to a door that is rather small for such a building. The iron-studded doors are thrown open and you glimpse a courtyard within. I think we keep moving. Eventually reaches a low metal door. The door is made of thin strips of metal, riveted together with a few gaps and holes between the plates. Peering through the door, you make out a sea of waving grass stalks, tall and clearly half wild. I've had bad luck with grass. It tries to eat me. You must keep going. You continue along the road. You pass a side street leading off into a maze of smaller streets and alleys. You skulk down a narrow street. lined by low warehouses. You catch the scent of grain as you pass one. As the sun climbs towards its zenith, the winds blowing between the buildings pick up a little. As you turn a slight corner, you spy 3 guards walking toward you, one dressed in the finery of the captain. Distracted by conversation, they have yet to spot you. We're dressed as a guard, let's just keep walking. You continue walking towards them, your pace steady and breath even. Nearing the 3, you can make out snatches of talk. But how do you manage it? One asks. If I said the word, could I do it? No, the captain replies. You need to know how to say it, using your will to channel the light. Not just a manner of spouting off a word or two. The guards nod to you as you pass by, but pay you no more notice. Cool. Awesome. Okay. Let's head for these broken buildings. You pick your way through broken buildings and through the wreckage of fallen homes. Seems the city once housed a lot more people than it does now. Perhaps its life is simply ebbing away. Across the ruins, you can make out the stalls and tents of a bustling market. The sun is blistering hot now. You emerge from the ruins of the house into the edge of the market. The market is busy with stalls and traders, a city in miniature. The market is not as large as those you encountered in Kare, but still it bustles with life. Even in Mampeg, people need to go about their day. Even in Mampeg, people need to eat. Let's go see if we can find some food. Most of the stalls are mundane, roughly made household goods and some trinkets. Despite the number of shoppers, there are in fact very few goods. But as you wander the stands, you do spot a weapons dealer flaunting his wares and a bent-back peddler with unusual items spread on a cloth. Unusual? How? The peddler smiles as you approach, and he gestures across a motley collection of objects laid out on a blanket. There's chipped pottery, dull knives, and empty picture frames. The man is not old, but a hard life has aged his looks. Junk, refuse, and memorabilia, he shouts, all for the discerning customer. Why are you selling junk? He cackles, which ends in a tremendous coughing fit. Oh, you know, another person's treasure, right? Why call it junk? Well, some call it junk, me, I call it treasure. People will pay for it no matter what I say if they truly want it. I see no reason to lie. Junk certainly covers it, right? You nod, smiling at the man's whimsy. You gonna buy anything? Okay, that gold-backed mirror. Can be pointed at a creature when the spell is cast. An exact replica of the enemy will then be created under the caster's control. Ooh, that could be useful. Or a brass pendulum, which allows us to hypnotize people. Used by the Wizards of the Expanse to power their golems. Only 48 gold pieces. It is too expensive. You place it on the rug. 48 gold pieces. Okay. Fresh or fresh enough. Yours for 30 gold. The price is also more than you can afford. You hand it back to the merchant. You decide to take your leave. Okay, then. Expensive shit. What about the tents? There are a few large tents set up and some stone buildings, too. There is a hawker loudly proclaiming that mysteries and wonders await in his tent. In one corner, a long line of preachers queue outside a long stone building. A low stone building. I don't think we need to go to either of these places, actually. Let's just fuck off into the distance. You head away from the maze of stalls and shops. Which way now? Toward the gate. This section is dominated by a wide road that leads upward toward the inner tower. Guards flank the way, scowling at anyone who gets too close. Nearby, you also spy a pillory with a lone prisoner shackled in. The bustling market is in full swing further north. The sun lowers toward the horizon. It will be night soon. Really? One guy? You walk over to the pillory. Behind it, a gallows looms, new swing in the breeze. The sun is now in the lowest corner of the sky. Soon it will be dark once more. A prisoner is here, dressed in rags. The skin on his neck and wrist have been rubbed raw by the wood. He lifts his head just long enough to scowl as you approach. He is brawny, but thin by the punishment. His shaggy hair is covered in filth, clumping together in places. Taunt or beat me all you will. You will teach me no lesson than a week in and out of this bane-cursed pillory has not taught me already. Unless you wish to feed me, be off. He is surprisingly lucid for someone who has spent a week in the stocks. Finding the poor creature is best left alone, you say nothing and walk away. He curses your back as you leave. Alright, let's keep going north. A few yards from the square, a group of guards block the road. They stand, sharp and to attention, sheltering in the shade of a nearby hut. Two of them hold snarling dogs on chains. You take a moment to watch the guards. They stand in a huddle, watching the road to the south. You might be able to slip around the hut and take the road beyond without being seen. The road is wide and clear, with a rising rock on one side and a drop on the other. There are no places to hide. One of the guards spies you and stamps forward. Taken in by your disguise, the guards give you a friendly nod. All right, one asks. You return the salute smartly, and the other nods. Just then, a passing beggar stumbles into the guard. Watch it, she yells and shoves him aside. The beggar, clearly drunk, mumbles an apology. Not good enough, the guard snarls, advancing on him. I guess we're gonna have to do nothing, because this seems like a bad time to blow our cover. You stand back and do nothing to draw attention to yourself. The guard draws their sword and slices the man's leg from behind. He cries and claps as he tries to rise. You won't be running from anything for a while now, the guard says. The beggar crawls away, howling. Well, that was depressing. Let's, You clap her on the shoulder. Well, you're an all-right sort, the guard remarks, chortling to herself. Go on, go through, and if I see you in the mess hall, we'll down a flagon or two. Yep, it is. Police brutality is nasty, but you cannot stop the system by beating up individual guards. We have to destroy the source, which is the Archmage. The road ends in a small wooden door built into a wooden palisade. The door appears unguarded. You tug on the door. It is locked. Fuck. You haul yourself up, using the rivets in the wood to climb. After a short haul, you're at the top and drop easily down on the other side. Let me guess, every guard in the world just saw me do that. No? Okay. You pick yourself up. You stand in a narrow alleyway, the walls high on both sides. The feel is suddenly that of a fortress. Tightly managed and harsh, growing like a fungus on the outside of the central tower. There will be no way back now. Another night begins. You should try to find a place to sleep, especially on an empty stomach. You notice there are fewer people here. Mampeg is home to many, but as you draw closer to the Archmage's inner sanctum, there will be fewer citizens and far more guards. The casual cruelty of this place will only grow worse. You're entering the Hornet's Nest now. Hornets, well known for being casually cruel. The alleyway runs to the right, but on the left is a low iron doorway. The door down to the city is locked. The sun disappears. You could approach the door, or make your way down the alley, but there is no way back over the palisade. Yeah, I'm gonna, like, finally defeat the Archmage, and then a guard's gonna kick down the door, like, stop right there, criminal scum! You make your way along the alley, looking around furtively. Luckily, you pass no one. This area seems quite dead. Moonlight covers everything. You pass a low wooden door. The door is unmarked, appears unlocked. The wood is warped and rain-sodden. The night air is cool and good for walking. Alright, let's try this door. The door opens easily and you step inside. The stone walls form a cool, quiet space. This was clearly someone's quarters once, but they have long since cleared out, leaving nothing behind but a dent in the straw that lines the wall. You hunt through the straw a little, then pull your back sharply as something bites you. You look down at your fingers to see two large welts growing on your forearm. If this is a rat bite, so be it. But if it is a spider, it could be quite serious. You retaliate with a few sparks from your tinderbox. The straw catches instantly, sending up thick clouds of smoke that make you cough and choke. Through it, you see something slither from the bed and look out of the door. You look and can see nothing through the smoke, which is beginning to make you gasp and wheeze. You open the door, fighting to see, and fall out into the hallway. Okay, well, I had a place I could sleep, but I've set it on fire. You had better sleep when you can next find somewhere safe. The alley turns slightly here, following the curve of the cliff. At the end, you spot two Birdman guards standing by an iron door. They have either not noticed you or your disguise is keeping you safe. Another narrow door is on the right, a little further along the alley. You head towards the next door in the alleyway. The guards at the far end of the alley take no notice. I was gonna go into the door, but I guess we're moving now. We're gonna have to fight a couple of Birdmen, I think. You are nearing the end of the alleyway and the guarded iron door. Another rather narrow door is nearby. Leaning over to press your ear against the narrow door, you hear high-pitched murmurs through the old wood. Moving quickly, you slip inside the door. You close the door behind you, glad to be away from the guard's prying eyes. The chamber you enter is rough, as though carved from a spur of rock. The ceiling is open to the stars, but as you enter, 3 Birdmen look up from their dice game, staring at you intently. You're reminded of an Analand phrase, hiding from Snaticats in a strangle bush. Hey, buddies. How you doing? Greetings! The birds continue to stare, dumbfounded. Well, you declare, I will be leaving you. The Birdmen stare, but do not make a move to stop you. You exit the room, grateful for the stupidity of the Archmage. This is turning into oblivion really fast, you know? Greetings! Goodbye! I'm really roleplaying that guard life. Complete with, you know, random person getting stabbed in the street. Well met. Any news from the other provinces? The iron door is a large slab guarded by 2 Birdmen. They have seen you, but have yet to react. This door must lead into the inner fortress proper. Beyond the iron door, you can make out movement in the yard beyond. Nothing you'd like to talk about.
You ready to make some bad choices?
Take care. Hello, Ref. Glad to see you. I'm glad you subscribed, and I'm glad for your terrible choice of giving me money. We are playing a long game book. We are on book 4 of Sorcery, the finale, and we're probably about to get caught. Alright, walk past. You saunter by and reach for the door. The halberds snap into a cross, blocking the way. Greetings, you say. What do you want? The bird maid says, clipping her word. The bird maid. Okay, there's a, I need to pass. The Birdman snorts. You're on official business, are you? We could have a message for the Archmage, or be the ambassador from Kare. I am not sure which would work better. I can make it worth your while. The Birdman looks nervously at his companion. Well, he trails off. The bird maid's only response is to narrow her eyes. First off, I'm going to pray for healing. Because we could use some healing. Alright, the Birdman looks like he's into this. The bird maid looks like she's going to stab us. So we got to get her on our side, because he'll fall in. You mumble something, offering her a bribe. What? Her beak curled as she snarled at you. I would never do it. The Archmage is my father. Your father? She means she was made in a glass jar, same as all of us, the Birdman says. Why don't you pass something my way? You open your pack, and the Birdman leans forward and rifles through it, holding items up to the light. The Birdmaid looks on in disgust. Eventually, he grabs a bamboo pipe. This will do nicely, he says with a grin. The Birdmaid is getting increasingly agitated. You shouldn't be taking bribes, she says. You shut your mouth, the Birdman hisses back. Hey, why don't you shut it for him? What are you starting, demands the Birdman. Then the Birdmaid leaps. The two grapple, slashing at each other with their talons. The Birdman suffers a deep gash, manages a lucky strike that knocks her out. Then he turns to you, furious and bleeding. What are you looking at? Nothing, you reply. He nods. You want to go inside? Indeed. He nods. He extends a clawed hand. That's 40 gold pieces. That's robbery. So arrest me, he draws back. You waste no time in further discussion. Okay. Everybody's so hostile in the Citadel of Evil. Everybody's so negative. Alright, let's stab. Yeah, I'm only fighting one instead of two. This was a strategic choice. The strategy was dumb, but the Birdman swoops in low, spitting and cursing. You swing wildly, hoping to chop the creature down. You catch the bird with wings open wide. The creature screams in a blood-curdling tongue. Alright, is he gonna come in hard? I think he's gonna come in really hard at me, so I'm gonna defend. It's fairly hard. You drop into a crouch as the Birdman screams across the floor. You repel him with your blade, heaving with the effort. You escape mostly unscathed. You wait for the Birdman's winged arms to open, and then you strike. Your bird sings as the parts the air. Cutting straight through his beating wings and searing claws. The Birdman bellows a foul curse as his breath comes short and fast. The Birdman opens his maw to scream, and his feet worry at the ground. Let's go in... Let's go in as hard as we can and hope. Okay, we win. You take advantage of the Birdman's anger to press forward. You wait, twist, and charge. The Birdman falls to the ground, feathers drifting from his body. The savage light in his eyes has gone dark. The Birdman dies with a shrill chirp. Looking over, you see the other guard is still unconscious. You rifle through his pockets and find the bamboo flute. You have paid your toll in blood instead. Yeah, I'm taking my flute back. No flute for you in the afterlife. With the way clear, you head through the iron door and close it behind you. This is war! I'm waging a one-woman war on evil. And birds, apparently. You emerge from the iron door. This is now the dead of night. This is the east side of a wide courtyard that sits below the central tower of Mampang. Guards mill this way and that. It says war, He-Man! Yeah! A short distance away, a wide set of steps heads up to the tower doors. The iron door heads south out of the courtyard, and the door leads away into a nearby turret. We could just take a nap here, but I don't think that's a good idea. The door is marked with a small brass plaque. This is the office of the commander of the guard. It appears to be locked up for the night. You open the iron door. The guards still lie dead, their bodies unremoved. Okay. The steps to the inner tower are right in front of you. There is nothing stopping you from climbing them and making your way inside. Alright, we are apparently not going to the guard's chamber, which would be funny. You step out into the center of the square, trusting to your disguise to keep you safe. The dead of night is still and cold. Thick, oily smells drift from a building to the north. But the most impressive sight here is the deep, towering flight of steps that leads up through a door in the inner tower itself. On the other side of the yard is a large block of wood. Oh boy, wood! The block of wood is crisscrossed with incisions, and stained a deep purple color if used is clear enough. The executioner seems to have left his skull cap on the block. Ooh, free skull cap. You take the skull cap from the block. It should serve for spell casting. You should try to find somewhere to sleep. After nearly a month of walking, you have finally come in sight of your goal. The great sealed doors stand before you at the top of the stairs. I mean, I guess we could walk up the stairs and then fall asleep, like, right on his doorstep. And I would walk 5,000 miles, and I would walk 5,000 more, just to be the nun who walked 1,000 miles. Oh, wait, it's not 5,000 then. Shoot. Sorry, rounding error, I am now somewhere in Africa. You make your way to the base of the great steps that lead up to the central tower. A little light glows in the east. Your heart is in your mouth. The inner sanctum lies within reach. You make your way one by one up the enormous steps. That's how most people climb steps. The tower looms above you like never before. Each step is carved in a word in the oldest tongue, spelling out a message for those who approach the dark heart of Mempeng. Your heart is in your mouth. Your journey ends here. The dark heart of Mempeng is in your mouth. How did you eat that tower? The message is spelled out one pictographic word at a time, one per step. Those who climb must comprehend, enter, or else ne'er descend. The symbols chosen are unusual. They are all the same, viewed from either direction. Burma, shave. You steady your nerve and continue to climb. We've reached the throbbing doors. These doors are throbbing. You stand by the colossal doors at the top of the steps. It must be morning by now. You have been awake all night and are weaker for it. A silence descends, as though this was a quieter corner of the city than any other. Perhaps it has something to do with the doors themselves. Certainly a heavy magic exudes from them. They seem simple enough, if large. The large wooden panels are covered in ornate carvings. Someone has left a pack here by the door. Perhaps someone else tried to open these doors once. The pack lies discarded to one side of the steps. It is a little charred. Gingerly, you flip open the pack. It seems safe enough. Inside are a few glass bottles. You lift the bottles out, shaking them one by one to identify their contents. It is a set of potions. Blimberry, blessed water, fire water, and what looks like a poison. Hey, 3 bottles! You stash each bottle and step quickly away from the discarded pack. Okay, if this door is magic, it's not going to open to my magic. So, trace the carvings on the door. This will either blow me up or open the door. The carvings are of obscure, distorted figures, perhaps once beautiful, now warped and bent by fire. In the center is a single vertical stroke. E. Okay, what spell do we have that... Oh, we've got a few spells that have an I in them. Let's cast a spell. Blow up the door and me with it? Hell yeah. Cause teleportate. Let's... If we can't open the door, let's go through the doors. This may kill us. You weave the constellations into a pattern around you, trusting to luck as the ring of green metal on your finger begins to gleam like a serpent's eye. You close your eyes as your body is wrenched away. A moment later, you reappear safely at the bottom of the steps once more. You feel a great relief to be away from the shadow of the Citadel doors. Let's head back up there. Okay, look at the doors. Open the door? You reach for the handle, quite sure it cannot be so simple. A moment later, you snatch your hand back. The handle is blisteringly hot. Alright. If it's hot, then... Don't we have a spell that counters, like, hot? Dock is the spell. Well, I mean, that doesn't start with an I. Or have an I in the middle of it. I feel like we need something that has an I in the middle of it. Dim, maybe? That might make us stupid. Nif? Except we can't start with an N. Fix? No. Kid? I don't know. Alright, the handle is hot. So, ow, that hurt. We have to... summon a goblin. I don't know what good that would do. Counter's hot. I think we're gonna try it. You cast a spell upon your potion and it begins to glow and fizz. The potion sizzles sharply as it slicks across the handle, but it does not boil away in moments as you might have expected. After a moment, it seems to cool. You reach out and gingerly touch the door handle. The metal is cool. It seems you have countered the spell of fire inside the door. But the door is still not open. You have survived one of its traps, but surely there will be more. And sure enough, your fingers on the door handle are starting to flake with gray dust. You snatch your hand back. Oh, okay. We're turning to stone. How do you not turn to stone? Did we ever learn how not to turn to stone? Fall. Okay. We need to become as light as air, which will counter the rock. You cast the enchantment, but although you complete the spell, it seems to have had no effect. You do not float into the air as you would have expected. Tentatively, you reach out for the door handle, but sure enough, nothing happens, and it's quite safe. You turn the door handle, now completely safe. The door opens. Then quite suddenly, the door shimmers and disappears from sight entirely. The passageway beyond is revealed. Sure, I believe this. You take a step forward, only to be brought up short by some hard, invisible barrier. You can only be thankful, though, as it does you no further harm than simply stopping you in your tracks. The door's still there. It's an illusion. We can cast illusions using our spell of illusion, but I don't know how to counter an illusion. What the hell counters an illusion? Being dumb. Being dumb counters an illusion. We have to be really dumb. We've got to nerf our intelligence so we're too stupid to be trapped. I'm not sure how we do that. What spell is that? Dim. I don't know. Did I see a D in there? Give in to the himbo. I mean, it's a temptation every day of my life. Yeah, I don't see a D in here, so... what do we got? We can cast Fireball. We can cast Wit, maybe? Nope. Create an invisible wall. I think they may be already creating invisible walls at me. Talk all language. I don't think talking to the door is gonna help. Resurrect the dead. Probably not. It's not a free-form system. Like, all of these magic words have predefined meanings. I'm just trying to figure out, like, which one is actually useful for this. Push on the barrier? You try pushing the invisible barrier. It seems to give a little, but does not open. It would be funny if I could resurrect the necromancer. I mean, he's a necromancer. It would be kind of funny. Let's see, I don't... let's see, what do we got? We have wall. We have... read minds. That's not very useful. We have Raz, which sharpens a blade. And Rap, which is talk all languages. And Rez, which is resurrect the dead. I don't see a reason to enact Plan 9 right now. Let's try teleportation again. That worked well last time. Looking to the constellations overhead, you craft a spell, and the ring of green metal on your finger begins to glow and glitter. You are suddenly torn through the very air. A moment later, you reappear a step behind yourself. Clearly, the Throbbing door cannot simply be passed through. One does not simply walk into Throbbing. Then through the opening, you see a troll emerge into the corridor. He turns, clearly surprised by the light coming in through the doorway, and he begins to charge toward you. Ooh! Hello, door knocker! You wait and watch as the troll stomps towards you, but its charge is abruptly halted as it reaches the opening. It strikes the invisible barrier, then steps back, rubbing its head in some confusion and glaring at you. You taunt it, causing the troll to run headfirst into the barrier 2 or 3 more times. Each collision comes with a resounding thud, like the sound of a fist pounding on wood, though there is no wood to be seen. Eventually, the creature's will gives out. The troll stares at you, and you stare at the troll, then with obvious reluctance, the troll slinks away, back inside the tower once more. You know, I was really hoping that it would, bust the door down for me. Cause explosions, that requires some pebbles, which we don't have. Create light, doesn't really... Hover in the air, that... I'm not sure that would be useful even if we could do it. I am actually gonna hit a walkthrough, because this is a really dumb thing to get stuck on. How do we open the throbbing door? Requires we need invisibility. We need to be invisible, because the door is... Okay, that makes sense, but we don't have the ring, so we're gonna have to go back downstairs. Distrustful, you turn away from the door. You begin to climb down the steps once more. Climbing down the steps, the carved message is visible once more and can still be read. Descend ne'er or else. The steps feel deeper than you remember. Suddenly, you look down to see your boots have sunk into the stone, up to your knees, as though the steps were made of water. You try to lift your boot out of the penetrable block, but though you can lift your leg, you cannot seem to get your boot out of the surface. It is as though it is made of solid glass. You keep going down, and with every step, you sink lower into the staircase. Then you try to take another step, and the situation is clear. You are truly stuck inside the stone. Oops. Swim! You try to swim upwards, but whatever the stone is, it is not water. You cannot make any traction through it at all. Just keep moving. You have been entombed inside the throbbing steps. You feel the cold veil of death surrounding you, but a moment later you find yourself moving upwards. Okay. Now we have the spell interface. Oh no. Don't tell me I have to... You do not cast a spell, but rather it casts you, pulling you open only to scatter you into the winds. Then you hit the ground in one piece in the thin alleyway leading from the grate. It is where you met the beggar, but he is nowhere to be seen. You have lost 1 point of maximum stamina. Oh, shit. Alright. Okay. So once we walk up to the doors, we're locked in there. Ow. That means that I have hit my shoulder on the desk. Ahem. That hurt. Okay. So that means that we have to have all of our shit together before we go up the stairs. Or we're fucked. Because of stone. Okay. How do we do this? Alright. Let's check out the east end of the city. You turn your cloak up and move quickly away. The last thing you need is to draw attention to yourself. The narrow alley mouth opens onto the square. Darkness closes in. You need to rest, especially on an empty stomach. The alley isn't a bad place to rest. It is quiet, secluded, and offers plenty of shadow. It's quick, it's easy, and it's free. You're setting down your pack. You try to stretch out despite the wind. You have not yet eaten today, but there is nothing you can do to fill your belly. You close your eyes and let tiredness overtake you. The long night is kept busy with vivid dreams. You are moving through a dark cavern. Every footstep makes the ground beneath your boots crack. Splinters run through the stone, and some thick yellow substance oozes through the crack. That's $240 worth of pudding, baby. Your dreams are taken over by a powerful burning shape that whisks and coils through the dark skies of your mind. Take me to him, it hisses. The one that bottled me, the one that ringed me, the one that trapped me in. What do you mean? You cry out to the creature, but in this dream you cannot speak. The monster roars, teeth opening with burning sunlight, but then seems to shrink down, being encased by the moon beyond. A black-gloved hand lifts the ball and laughs gently. Flanker's voice. And all the while you hear distant laughter from the east. You lost a little max stamina, died, and found 3 new clues. Okay. You emerge from the alley onto the edge of the main square. Let's check out the east side of town this time. Pretty standard day. Oh, no. A standard day is like, you know... you discovered a new place to eat. You died. You discovered, food poisoning regulations in your city. You died. You discovered... sea route to India. I don't know. I'm Christopher Columbus in this analogy, apparently. I deserve the death. Look at the arch. You peer over at the archway. A few merchants go this way and that into the building. Some kind of market, perhaps? You can cross the square, or explore the fringes. Yeah, alright, what's over here? You march through the arch. You march through the arch into a well-appointed empty courtyard. From a small booth in the entranceway, a guard nods to you. Soldier? You step out into the round central courtyard that fills this enclosure. The place is blessedly quiet, with several routes leading out of it. A dome looks up at the sky, and you spot the occasional birdman flying overhead. A fountain plays in the center of the courtyard. The water from the fountain plays merrily over several stone statues set into the center of the bowl. Arching satyrs, weeping maidens, aged men, head-butting orcs. It must tell some legend. What that legend might be, has clearly been lost to time in the wearing water. A few brightly feathered birds flap past overhead. This little square is almost comfortable. You look around the courtyard, but there isn't much to see beyond the fountain and the benches that surround it. The doors are a mixture of shop and storage room. Well, I'm sure this water is perfectly potable. You cup a handful of the sparkling water and raise it to your lips. A moment later, you spit it out, gasping for breath. The water is quite foul. Perfectly potable, like I said. You die. You respawn in the alley. A door leads out to the main square of the inner city, but there are several other doors leading off from the courtyard. One is signposted Nylock. Let's try this chamber. You slip into a small side room. Inside are a pile of crates in a side room. Yeah, side room. That are marked with the seal of Kare. There are several stacked crates, each bearing the official mark of Kare's first noble. What are they doing here? A few large empty crates lie undisturbed at the back of the room. The crates are nailed shut, but you manage to slip your broadsword between two boards, pry off the lid. Inside are stacks of magical armor, the kind you saw used in Kare by Vic's army of werewolves. How could they possibly be here, and if it's here? Is Vic here too? You saw several sets of lupine armor up close during your time in Kare. This looks similar, though perhaps not as well made. You open one of the large crates, empty and roomy. It occurs to you that you could hide your guard's uniform in one of the boxes for use later. You put the guard uniform carefully into a crate in the back of the room. I think that is a good idea. Oh yeah, Book 2 was about an army of werewolves, but unfortunately they were the bad guys. So we had to escape. There is a disguise you could use. Alright, let's slip out of here. You step out in the courtyard once more. For once, the sun is shining in Mampeg. It is refreshing to feel the warmth on your face. Let's try this side room. You choose a small side door, which opens to reveal dirty living quarters. A bare rug covers the floor, and an unmade bed lifts in the corner. A wood chest sits at his foot, facing an empty table. This is presumably home to some lowly guard or another. You squat down in front of the chest. There is no lock. You scrutinize the chest, running your finger along the latch. It appears safe. You flip open the lid. Nothing. The box is empty. There isn't even a cobweb or a loose gold coin. Maybe this is a simple servant's room. You lift the box out from under the table and turn it over. Then you hear a click from somewhere behind you. You turn and rush towards the exit, but you are too late. A heavy portcullis is dropped from the ceiling, barring the doorway. You are trapped. From somewhere nearby, you hear a hissing noise. You know, I was not expecting this. I know this is Steve Jackson, but I was not expecting this to turn into Deathtrap Dungeon so quickly. You look around the floor of the room, expecting to see a snake. Nothing moves. You look up to see a greenish cloud descending from the ceiling. Poison gas. This is not anyone's living quarters. This room is nothing but a trap, and you have walked right into it. Alright, let's, we could create a force field. Just us and our oxygen. Cause strength, yeah. We're gonna cause strength, and we're gonna heft that portcullis out of the way. You drink one of your potions while casting the spell. The effects are instant, like having a fire burning through your arms and legs. You suddenly feel incredibly strong. Your newfound strength is incredible, but can't help you against the poison. You must act quickly. You grip the metal bars of the portcullis with both hands, and with a mighty roar, you tear it from the wall and toss it aside. Oh, god damn! I was expecting to pick it up, man! Instead, we're like, Hulk smash! Then you rush out of the room, which is still full of deadly gas. You've made it out safely. You've made out safely. Excuse me. You've made out safely with this door. You pick yourself up from the floor and brush yourself down. The gas from the chamber dissipates into the air of the courtyard. No one seems to have noticed your escape. The incredible strength in your muscles fades. Which way now? Let's just leave. At the far end of the courtyard is a gloomy hallway. It seems a strange addition to the otherwise clean merchant's quarters. You emerge into a small, dirt-filled room. There is an untidy pile of timber in the center and a door at the far end. You cross the room and rattle the handle of the far door, but it doesn't turn. Is it locked? The door is heavy wood, tightly joined, and yet from between its planks, a thick oil seems to ooze. One good kick and the door flies open. The far door opens onto a staircase headed down. Okay, we're about to walk into like a gelatinous cube or something. You step onto the top step of a flight of stairs and runs down into the darkness below. Wait, why am I going back down here? The smell grows worse with every downward step you take. This is a fucking... sewers or something again, isn't it? The smell is fetid down here. What is this place? A low doorway is set in the wall. Nope, we do not listen at the door, we just make our move. We move on because we're dumb. You stride into the underground room, only to be stopped by a chaotic scene. Inside the cramped chambers are more than a dozen grotesque creatures, all clambering all over each other. The creatures resemble goblins, the way a wax puddle resembles a candlestick. All have been cursed and stunted with horrible growths and changes. One has a large bulbous head, puffy like a sack of potatoes. Another has hands growing all over its torso, while a third seems to lack any bones at all and flops and rolls around the room. You step forward to greet one of the creatures. You notice her tongue is snaking out of her mouth and curls twice around her neck. That's kind of hot. I think we got a chance with this lady. Who are you? She asks. Are you looking for the vault? What is the vault? You must be looking for the vault, the mutant answers, rolling her head in its socket. No one comes down here. The other mutants lumble toward you. A few more circle around as though trying to approach you sideways. May I pass through? She considers this. And explore the vaults? Another voice pipes up, thin and reedy. The vaults are guarded, it shrieks. Guarded by traps and beasts. And the word, adds a long-tongued one. What is the word for the vaults? To your surprise, the long-tongued goblin replies. But it is a messy slur of syllables and you cannot make it out. The other mutants nod vigorously, however. Tell me again? I'll watch him all now, replies the goblin, or something to that effect. You take a step back. I will go. You turn to leave with the click of teeth at your back. Alright, I guess we're not going to the vaults today. You slip gratefully out of the mutant's chambers and close the door behind you. You can hear the mutants snuffling and honking behind the door. They're just Muppets. They're fine. I feel like we should have been able to befriend those guys, but I didn't know what to give them. Like, if we still had food. You gasp with relief, slamming the door to the mutant staircase, closed up once more. If we had food, I would have felt good about giving them some food. But I don't know what else to contribute. Alright. You enter a trade post of some kind. A bald woman with one eye leans on a counter, flanked by shelves stocked with goods and trinkets. At this moment, she's talking to a finely dressed traveler. The merchant Nylock glances up as you enter, then returns to her bargaining. The merchant is shaking her head, not meeting the eyes of the traveler. Listen, I do want what you have, but if I buy it at that price, the Archmage will have my head, with all due respect, of course. I see, I must give this some thought, rumbles the traveler. You hover, listening, but the trader behind the counter has noticed you. Well, she demands. What do you want? The man at the counter seems to notice you for the first time. Something about the man seems familiar, and it would appear the feeling is mutual. You! The man gasps. Who are you? You don't know me? You must have seen sketches of my face, at least, on the walls and pamphlets that cover Sorcery. The man puffs out his chest. I am Vic Sensual, first noble of the City Port of Thieves, and you, I think, are the Analander. Nylock lifts her head briefly. You know this stranger? Vic grabs you around the shoulder. Why, my dear friend here is the reason I'm first noble. She aided me in defeating the marsh goblin hordes that threatened the city on the day of my ascension. Hey, it's the guy who runs the werewolf army. Apparently we're besties. Okay. That's right. You reply, unable to resist a smile. We showed those goblins a thing or two, huh? And how is Kare now? Changing, Vic answers. The first thing I did was remove the council. Amazing how much more efficient things can be when there's only one voice in charge. And a businessman's voice at that. He flashes a smile at Nylock, but her one eye is looking elsewhere. You can really start making the kinds of changes you'd like to see. You still use werewolves? Yes. Nylock looks up sharply. He shushes you. Keep it down. You want to give away trade secrets? The esteemed archmage, he says, glancing at Nylock, merely wishes to know how to acquire such a disciplined force. Well, I'm sure it's a lucrative deal. For everyone, he laughs and looks at you shrewdly. I'm doing well. Perhaps enough to share a little? He smiles acidly. I doubt it. Then he considers a moment more. Still, Vic knows the deal when he sees it. You not only saved the city, you're the one who helped me rise to First Noble. So what are you interested in? Your aid. Interesting, he replies. Let's hear you. What do I need? What do I need? Do I need to get in? I need to get into the inner tower. But that seems like a me problem. I need to avoid the guards, but that also seems like a me problem. I do need supplies. I need supplies badly. Do I die? No, but I don't heal. I can't heal if I don't eat. For the most part. I need supplies, you tell him. I have very little food. Food is easy to come by in Mampeg. There's the inn off the square and the market, another place in the east square where the sleepwalkers are. I sell food, Nylock mutters, but it's not cheap. Sleepwalkers? Isn't that what they are? It's the only word I can think of. They're harmless, I think. Anyway, there's a stall there. He gives a wide smile and claps you on the shoulder. A pleasure, as always. He goes over to a pile of papers and begins sorting through them. Nylock is unimpressed. You cough politely. What kind of goods are traded here? What? Nylock looks up. Oh, you're still here? I want to buy something. Good for you, she glowers. You browse around her stock. Oh, that brass pendulum could come in incredibly handy. That allows us to mind control people. But we need the food. How many provisions do I get for 8 gold pieces? How many? You get a meal. Take it or don't take it. You know what? I think we can get food cheaper somewhere else. We're gonna buy the brass pendulum. You must have a very specific clock to fix, she remarks, but you're welcome to it. Nylock makes a mark in her ledger to boot the sale. That's enough, Nylock shrugs. I'm leaving. Splendid! Vic salutes you. Be seeing you, he grumbles. Alright. We're headed back out into the general population. And let's try down this alley. Let's see if we can find these sleepwalkers and eat their food. You make your way along the alleyway. A lane leads off. The wind picks up as evening draws on. It will be night soon. Looking down the lane, you see a large tavern with plenty of noise coming from it. Okay. A sign hangs outside the door. This is the Bony Hand. Let's bite the hand that feeds us. To enter the tavern, you are forced to duck under the low doorframe. The whole building seems to have sunk at least a foot in the ground, either from age, neglect, or both. You are probably safe from the guard patrols in here. Most of the crowd are merchants or other visitors to Mampang. You see a good number of messengers and clerks returning from far-flung eastern areas of the Archmage's growing kingdom. The crown has extended its grip across a wide area, much of it normally occupied by proud soldiers who would fight back if it were not for the artifact's controlling powers. Now it takes nearly as many bureaucrats as soldiers to maintain it all. There are several tables, occupied and empty, and a little space at the bar. The dice table! Let's see if we can win at dice. That'll give us some money. You see an unkempt merchant. You approach her table. Looking for a game? I am, but I only played for money. You decline the game and leave the table. Your purse is too meager for any kind of bet. No! I am too fucking poor to exist. That's too real. You force through the crowd until you reach the bar, which is covered in gouges and old bloodstains. The innkeeper is a scowling dwarf who spends more time shouting at customers to wait their turn than actually serving. After an age, he comes over to you. Ale is a gold piece, or do you want something else? Serve me some food. Can't hear you. What do you want? Food. 6 gold pieces for dried meat. I've also got a stew for 4. Expensive. No, you shout back. The bartender shrugs. Alright, let's drink some ale. You are reaching into your pouch when a melodious voice says, Don't trouble yourself. You look up to see a handsome half-orc. He smiles. I will buy you one, he says with a mischievous tone. Oh boy. Oh boy, okay. There was that goblin lady earlier. Now we're being hit on by a half-orc guy. Okay. Apparently we are just a monster fucker magnet for the monsters. A creature the book didn't call up. Yeah. Everybody in this book has been ugly except for this one half-orc. This one dude is attractive. That tells us a lot about the character that we're playing. They're an orc fucker. Thank you, you say as the stranger pays for the drink. Now the least you can do is join me at my private table, he says with the same smile. He walks towards the back room door, casting a sidelong glance at you. Oh, he's gonna, hit us over the head and sell us into slavery. You know what? I trust this man completely. You follow the stranger through the crowd to a small doorway. You enter the back room. I'm so glad you came, murmurs your friend from the bar, somewhere ahead in semi-darkness. What do you want with me? You open your mouth to reply when rough hands grab you. Yep, here we go. 2 burly thugs were standing beside the doorway, hired goons, and now they hold your arms. The stranger's laugh as he turns to face you is no less charming, despite the malice it now clearly shows. You stay firmly silent. Well, Annalander, it seems the entire fortress is searching for you. Yet you decide to wander into a tavern and order a drink. The Archmage will pay well for you, I am sure, but first we will see if there's anything worthwhile in your pockets. One thug begins to pat you down, searching for valuables. You have brought what happens next on yourself, you threaten. But though the stars are above, you are unable to cast with your arms pinned on both sides. Please, murmurs the beautiful stranger. We know about sorcerers here. Pray for aid. You close your eyes and raise a prayer to the gorilla. The others laugh at your piety in such a situation. Are they right? Has the gorilla not heard your pleas? At a gesture from the man, the thugs throw you down. The stranger sighs, looking at you on the floor. Perhaps you are more trouble than you are worth, though you would fetch a good price from the Archmage. Does she have anything? One of the thugs holds up the bamboo pipe. This'll do, he grunts. The stranger takes it and motions the others to follow as he leaves the room. This is worth your life, barely. With a last blow to your gut for good measure, they leave the room. Yeah, that figures. Drags me into a back room. Steals my pipe. Leaves. There is no point chasing them. They know the city and would lose you in moments. You creep back into the main room. Your pride badly wounded. Do I at least get the drink? I don't think I get the drink. That was the worst date I've ever been on. You find a corner table and sit down, nursing your ale. Oh, I do get the drink. Okay. You knock back the cup of ale. It sizzles as it runs down your throat. That's not ale, that's battery acid. A stranger walks up to your table, their face completely obscured by a plain yellow cloth. May I sit? They ask, voice muffled. Yeah, but I lost my flute. Now I can't make people dance on command. Please, you say, gesturing to the seat. The stranger bows a fraction, then sits. My thanks. It has been a tiring journey. I move very slowly, you understand. Oh no, it's that guard that Say was talking about. The one from the other side of the world that detected us climbing the gate. He finally caught up. Away from the bar, it is quiet enough to talk, even to this soft-motion figure. Why is that? I am very old, the priest replies. I would have died 100 years ago if the sun serpent's light were not keeping me alive. He makes a sign with his hands, moving his fingers in a coiling fashion. How do you worship? I give worship to the serpent, thanking it for the boon of the sun's light. I also pray to it for aid. Does the serpent answer your prayers? You ask with a pointed look. I believe it does, the priest says, and falls silent. I trapped the sun serpent. You can see the priest's eyebrows raised beneath their mask. Quite a claim. Show him the orb! You pull out the orb to show them, but he steps back quickly, unwilling to look. Orbs are used by sorcerers for tricks, he answers. I will not be so fooled. He gets to his feet, clearly offended. Bowing once more, he leaves. Well, damn, I wanted to, actually hand his god over to him in, like, physical form. You survey the room, marveling at how such a jolly place exists in Mampeg. The rest does you well. You feel a little stronger for it, but you're done resting. Get to your feet once more. Head out onto the path. Alright, let's look around this area some more. Another night begins. You should try to find a place to sleep on an empty stomach. It's not empty, I've got beer in there. You follow the road to a junction, where a collection of netherled, winding alleys leads away. The moon moves slowly across the dark sky, peering down at them. Peering down at the moon? It hints at a maze of twisting paths and shadowy nooks. There is a small fire here, which a few figures sit glumly around. You put your pack down against one side of the street, a little way out of the circle of firelight. The group around the fire pays you no attention. You have eaten nothing today, but your pack is empty and you cannot eat. You lie back and try to forget your troubles. The remainder of the night is restless with visions. You are standing on top of a tall, black-tiled tower, clinging to its tiles with one hand, while with the other you wave something in the air. What is it? You look in your hand to find you are holding nothing less than the crown itself. And then you hear a calling sound and a great shape moves towards you. A birdman? No, a gold-crest eagle shimmering into view. The sightmasters have seen you. They're taking you home. Alright. You wake the next morning to find the narrow street still in darkness. You get quickly to your feet once more. The alleys are a rat's nest of buildings and winding streets. They seem to go on forever, yet curve away immediately out of sight. A rat scurries over your foot that stands nearby, boldly staring. Alright, we're searching for a pearl ring. And I genuinely have no idea where we would find that in this city. So I guess we keep searching. You pass by the alleys and follow the road as it heads toward the winding roll of Mampang. After a while, the path opens out into a stormy clearing. The early morning sun makes the air glow. Guards walk this way and that along the space. Across the square is a low wall set with a door. The guards do not seem to be guarding it, but none are going anywhere near it either. The flagstones of the square are smoothed and worn as though by torrential rain. The people in the square are moving this way and that, seemingly without purpose. They all seem quite concerned and busy, though. You could elbow your way through the strange crowd filling the square. You cross into the middle of the small square. Guards move this way and that across the flagstones. In one corner of the square is a tent from which rich smells are rising. The food cellar has a low tent with a cooking stove. A few of the city's square's wandering populace pass by it to eat before continuing on their endless circuits. This is not a good place to hang around. Let's check out the food tent. You approach the kitchen. To one side, a long table is crowded with people eating their meals. The chef bustles through the kitchen. Hungry? It's 8 gold. It's more than you can afford. Chef shrugs. Suit yourself. If I could afford to suit myself. As you walk, you become aware of 3 spindly figures staring in your direction. The large eyes are a sure giveaway. They are sight maskers from Analand. What are they doing so far from home? One beckons you over. You approach, noting that the 3 look much like those who guard Analand's borders. Their leader leads into you and whispers, "Analander!" She nods. "The whole fortress is looking for you, and here you are waltzing around as if you were heading to the market." What are you doing here? A few of us have made the journey, the Sightmaster replies, to prepare the ground for you, Analander. Her companion produces a heavy, scratchy-looking coat held together by thick ties. Put this on, it is a cloak of disguise. You've never seen such a cloak before. It seems remarkably bulky for a cloak of disguise. Made from goldcrest feathers, one of the Sightmasters says. It will make you invisible. The Sightmaster of the cloak pushes it at you. Wear it. If that's true, we just need to be invisible to get through that door. So, thankful for allies, you accept the coat. You place your pack down as the Sightmaster drapes it around you. She cinches the ties. The fit is rather uncomfortable. As the Sightmaster steps back, you tug at the laces, but they don't seem to come undone. Oh, don't worry, the Sightmaster replies, seeing your discomfort. You will get used to it. As she speaks, the coat gets tighter. You struggle trying to remove the coat, but the ties will not come undone. Now, this wouldn't be much of a holding cloak if you could wiggle out of it. The cloak's grip tightens again. You can barely breathe now. Yeah, I thought this was a trap, but then I thought, let's be optimistic. Let's cast big. You cannot cast anything. The coat has pinned your arms to the sides. You hear a bone in your chest crack under the pressure. You must escape. You leap at one of the Sightmaskers, bowling him over. The 2 of you fall in the dust. With your arms pinned, you cannot wrestle, so you sit on his chest. Yeah, just sit on him. That's fine. That's normal. A normal thing to do. In desperation, he clumsily strikes out with a dagger, but he misses your flesh, cutting the ties of the coat instead. Realizing his mistake, he rolls away as you scramble up. You throw off the cursed item and breathe deeply, but there is no time to enjoy the sensation of being able to breathe once more. The Sightmaskers have all snapped their weapons out. It will be 3 against 1, and these are Analand's most highly trained warriors. Well, I can cast a spell now. Let's cause sleepiness. You carefully lift the brass pendulum from your pack and set it swinging. I would not at all no, you would not in fact be enjoying the sensation of breathing. You would not be enjoying the sensation of doing much at all. One of the Sightmasters rushes at you, blade raised, but is stopped in his tracks by the sight of the pendulum. He sways in time with it, eyelids drooping. He then yawns and lies down carefully in the street, snoring away. But the other 2 Sightmaskers are still wide awake. The 2 remaining Sightmaskers grow cautious now that you have shown yourself to be a threat. Strangely, the guards in the square are paying no heed to the bloodshed, I think. That text glitch is weird. You turn and run, but the Sightmaskers are too fast. One tackles you to the ground, and you are unable to fight off all 3. Including the sleeping guy, I guess. The Sightmaskers are still haggling for a larger reward as you are neatly trussed up. Oh cool, we've infiltrated the fortress! Bound and gagged, you are dragged by your ankles by 2 guards who mumble about the trouble caused. They gossip to passing companions about you. The text thing is not a streaming artifact. That is... It looks really weird and fucky over here, too. Apparently it's a bug that never got patched. There are several attempted solutions to it in the Steam forums. I tried a few and none of them seem to work. You struggle and strain, but the guards respond by kicking you in the ribs until you're forced to stop. My broken rib! Then they pull you along once more. Hopelessly, you are dragged into the office of the commander of the guard. The room is windowless, but lit by half a dozen lamps scattered around. Khartoum, commander of the guards of Mampang, sits behind a wooden desk covered in scattered parchments. Vic is here. He turns as you enter and grins. Oh, there you are, he exclaims. Been getting yourself into trouble, have you? Apologies, Sensual. Can't leave you alone for 5 minutes, he sighs. To the commander, he says, this one is my second in command. You better hand her over to me. All right, I will trust Vic. You step a pace behind Vic as though subservient to him. Khartoum lifts an eyebrow. Is that so? We're on lookout for strangers around here. She's certainly strange, Vic laughs, but harmless enough. To demonstrate his point, he clocks you over the back of the head. You smile grimly. Vic smiles back. He finishes his business with the commander and leads you out into the courtyard. Well, Vic murmurs once you're out of earshot of the door. Now we're even, I think. Stay away from me and try not to get into trouble. For a moment, he looks nervously up at the Archmage's great tower that rises from the yard. Keep Kare safe. Oh, I will, he smiles. The safe is gold in my pocket. Then he hurries away. And we're right back where we started 40 minutes ago. Alright, at least this time we know we can't go up the stairs without dying because we don't have an invisibility ring. So, you open the iron door. 2 birdmen stand on the other side, facing away from you, blocking the way. You quickly close the door once more. Okay. Can I go anywhere from the courtyard? Can I go back into the commander's office? I don't know. You step out into the center of the square, nervous at how exposed you seem. Well, maybe I can hide over here until the commander goes home? You are in the middle part of the day, and yet the citadel is still cold. You approach a large, noisy building. It is the guards' mess hall. The building is large, with one side open to the elements. Inside, tables are packed with guards' false stripes. Maybe we can get some lunch. You walk up to the hall. A sharp-eyed guard frowns at you. Now, wait, are you not... But you are, everyone! It's the Outlander, and she strolled right in to see us! Hearing your cries, many leap up from their tables, reaching for their weapons. But I'm a guard! You insist, but your assailants are uninterested in anything but a brawl, and they descend upon you. Alright, magic. We can... jacket, but that would require a face mask. We could try lightning bolting them, but I don't think it would work. We could cause slowness. I don't know how many it would affect. We could create a shield. That would... create a shield. Create an invisible wall. Okay, yeah, I think we would create an invisible wall and leave. You cast your invisible wall, and the guards crash into it. As they fight and hammer on the force wall, you walk calmly away. You rush away from the mess hall where they're already calling the alarm. You will evade capture now, but soon all of China will know you're here. I am really bad at this stealth mission stuff, you know? Okay. Can we, A patrol of guards tramps through the square and through the iron door to the south. You had best stay clear of the mess hall. Yeah. Okay, maybe I can pretend that, like, we forgot something. You knock on the door of the commander's office, and a guard you don't recognize opens it. Yes? I am the Anolander. Yeah, at this point, maybe the players could just get killed. So we start the day over and we can do less stupid things. Are you now? The guard replies. Splendid. He whistles and a few other guards come running. The guards drag you along by the ankles. So the Anolander, there's no doubt about it. There's no mercy for this one. You wait patiently, after all. They will kill you soon enough. Okay, we're gonna reset back to the alleyway. Hey, welcome. Always nice to see a new face. What would your name be? I have to have a face without a name. Say nothing. Oh, no reason to be like that. We can be civil. It's all you've got in your last moments, that in the state of your underwear. Suddenly the man falls silent, looking up at the tower above as though something had caught his attention. You turn and look, but see nothing but the sunlight, gleaming off a high tower window. Yes, my lord. At once, my lord. The large man says to the empty air, then he turns back to you. The order's given. It doesn't look good for you. Well, it never did. Pray? Look on the bright side, the executioner remarks, blade quivering in the air. Not every day the Archmage comes to watch me work. You have been executed. It's Alduin! Oh, I wish. Can we cast any of these other spells? No. We are not allowed to cast any of these other spells. It's that or nothing, baby. You have lost another point of maximum stamina. You are quite alive. What is more, you have all your possessions and gold and knowledge intact. That's cool. Let's just sleep in the alley. And we'll try, this is just a dream sequence. I don't care about it. You lost a little maximum strength, died again, and found no new clues whatsoever. Alright. Let's try exploring the houses over here a little more. Life's a piece of shit, when you think of it. Life's a laugh and death's a joke, it's true. You can see it's all a show, keep 'em laughing as you go. Just remember that the last laugh is on you. You walk west, not east, out of the square, following a wide road. Passes by a large gate. As the morning moves on, the wind begins to rise. Okay, let's try this guy. You greet the two men, and one of them grins. I haven't seen you before, but you're welcome, welcome indeed. We've no food to give if you wish for that. F.A., our god, forbids it, but there's plenty to be earned in a sense. In a sense. This is a monastery? The monk nods. It is. We are dedicated to F.A. the Fortuitous. He gestures up the stairs. Feel free to enter, but you will have to excuse us. My companion and I are busy betting on the patterns of the crowds. Okay. Maybe we can play dice in here, because this is like the betting god. Anyway, we have about 5 minutes left. I don't think we're going to have any major revelations in the 5 minutes. Talk to the monk. Welcome to our place of contemplation. You have the eyes of a lost soul. Are you a monk here? I am. I've been in the order for many years now. Are you happy? Happiness comes and goes, but I am never content. And that is as a follower of F.A. should be. Who is F.A.? She is the Fortuitous, the goddess of chance. She nudges the odds and oversees risk-taking. She is the patron of those who would roll the dice or make the leap. What happens if I lose all my max stamina? I presume I have to rewind back to the gates. See, up until this book, we had this rewind button, and it would let us scroll back and forth, etc. But Ever since we came in here, we lost that ability. So I'm guessing if we get to the point where we perma-die, we'll just start back over at the start of the fortress or something. Or have to start the book over. There's that too. She benevolent? You do not understand. Why would she be benevolent? Chance and change affect us for good, but just as often for ill. It is not ill intent when a roll does not go our way. It is truth, however. The monk smiles and pulls out a scrumbled sheet of paper. Well met, the monk says, but now I must return to contemplating these creases. May your next nudge come from F.A. You nod your thanks and turn away. I mean, okay. It is just truth when you lose 4 dice flips in a row. Dice flip? What the fuck is a dice flip? How do you flip a dice? You climb the steps into the monastery building. This place seems rather busy for a monastery. Monks and citizens crowd around low tables, and a commotion is coming from a crowd to one side. Wide doors lead deeper into the monastery itself. Small iron-lined windows dot the walls, allowing a little light. Most of the monks are gambling or betting in one way or another. One stands on one leg while another counts seconds. Opposite, two monks stand under a tree, guessing when a particular leaf will fall. Along a far wall, surrounded by many spectators, is an intricate racecourse for rats. Oh, it's the rat race, everybody! Alright, I'm going for the dice. You walk into a long room set with a wooden table on which several games of Swindlestones are being played. You find a monk who grins at you. Fancy a game? We stake 10 gold pieces in F.A.'s honor. Ah, the stake is too much. Here then, he hands you 10 gold pieces from his pocket. In F.A.'s honor. Now a game. Alright. We're gonna play one game of dice, and then we're gonna save and quit for the evening. Alright. I have never seen you before. This is your first time here? I'm gonna bet 2 twos? Yes. You are most welcome. Everyone comes to us sooner or later. 2 fours. That's not implausible. I'm gonna bet 3 twos. Ah, he called. There are 3 twos. The round is mine. It's a prodigy. Have you ever heard of the Keyblade War? It's not a story the Jedi would tell you. I'm gonna bid 2 threes and hope. Bluff. We do not seek our fortune in that sense. 2 fours. Call. There are 3 fours. He wins. But you have a faith. My faith is my own. You should not be shy of your faith. I have met followers of F.A. before. Enough come to us that we're content. Oh, I probably lost that. I bet 3... Yep. 2 twos. He wins. I only have 1 die to work with. Alright, I will bet that there are 2 threes on the table. No. The monk nods sagely, while recommending his soul to F.A. A fine match, another? Can you lend me more money? I cannot. F.A. does not wish us to be generous, as generosity defies the action of luck. True luck does not always favor play, he agrees. It's true. True luck does not always favor play, and that means that, I am done playing for the moment. When we come back, it will be tomorrow. It will be, well, you know what, maybe tomorrow. I might have some thoughts about like a 2 a.m. stream. I don't know. But when we come back, it will be tomorrow. That means it'll be the weekend, and that means we're back to Eve 2. More bump system. We are gonna bump and we are gonna grind. Uh, Aside from that, though, good night, everybody. It was great to have you here. It's always great to have you here. It always will be great to have you here. Whether you like it or not. And I believe I will just release y'all into the ether. I don't see anybody I particularly want to raid at the moment. I would raid, Celine, but I imagine she's almost finished with her commission stuff. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and raid Celine. Finished or not, it's just what we do around here. So, she's doing an artistic commission. She's working in 3D. Some sort of dog face model I don't know anything about because it's a commission for somebody. So, I'm just gonna send you all over there. I hope you enjoy yourself. I hope you find something in that dog you are looking for. Dog face. Facey, facey, dog face. Okay. Goodbye, everybody.